Hi, my little berries, and welcome to Asbury World. This is EATZ or Kiki, and I am EATZ Asbury, and this is Asbury World, where we talk all about life, family, friends, and what's trending. And today on Morning Chat, we'll be talking about Eva and her husband and how they're getting a divorce, but it's more about the children. So keep watching, and we're going to get to this Morning Chat. Hey, my little berries, and once again, welcome to Asbury World. So today on Asbury World's Morning Chat, we are going to be talking about Eva Marcille and Mike Sterling. Okay, so if you're not familiar with who Eva Marcille is, Eva Marcille was one of America's Next Top Models winners years ago. This was like in the early 2000s. She's actually from the D, okay? She is from Detroit, baby. And Eva Marcille over the years has went from modeling, being a cover girl. She's also an actress. She's played in movies, TV shows, and currently one of the TV shows that she is in is All the Queen's Men on BET. If you're not familiar with that show, please go watch that show. All Queen's Men. When I say Eva Marcille is playing the hell out of that role, she is playing the hell out of that role. Okay, but this is not what the Morning Chat is about. The Morning Chat, if you follow Eva Marcille and you have watched her on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you saw where she was single at one point in time, then she was dating someone, then she was married. And Arizona got a lot to say too. But yeah, Eva Marcille married Mike Sterling, which I was saying that Eva Marcille married Mike Sterling. Mike Sterling is a lawyer in Atlanta, Georgia, and she married him. But the he now, like I said, I'm not sure if everybody is aware of their relationship and the things that this man, Mike Sterling, has done. Okay, so if you know Eva Marcille has a child. Her child, who is the daddy? Oh my God. Oh yeah, Kevin McCall. Sorry. Yes, Kevin McCall is the father of her daughter. Now, when Eva Marcille got married to Mike Sterling, he adopted. Yeah, baby. He adopted her daughter. Now, they have had 2 children after they've been married, okay? But like I said, he adopted her daughter. Her biological father is Kevin McCall. If you know anything about the backstory, that is a strange situation. So we're not even talking about Kevin McCall. We're talking about Mike Sterling. We're talking about Eva Marcille. They are getting a divorce. In the information that I have, it does not say why they are getting a divorce. However, the controversy is on this. Okay, so I'm going to read you the article. On the latest episode of Simping Gone Wrong, former America's top model Eva married a successful businessman from Atlanta, Mike Sterling. He decided to legally adopt her daughter. Now, 4 years later, Eva is filing for divorce, and she wants him to pay her child support for her daughter. All right, so the question on today's Morning Chat is, 1, is Mike Sterling a simp or a punk because he now has to pay child support for a child that he adopted? And 2, is Eva Marcille wrong for even asking for child support for a child that he adopted that isn't biologically his? Okay, the first question, is Mike a simp or is he a punk or any of those derogatory terms that now in 2023 we want to put on men that decide to step up and do things, or men that are good to their women, or men like how they try to say Russell Wilson is a simp because how much he loves his wife. So we're not even going to put that in the category, because I really believe that at the end of the day, no, Mike Sterling is not a simp. No, he's not a punk. No, he's not any of those things. What he is, he was a man that loved a woman and he loved her child. And because when you come into a situation and come into a relationship, once you take on that person, you take on anything that is associated with them. And I'm not talking about family members and brothers and cousins and sisters and all that. I'm talking about immediate family, meaning like offspring, okay? That's a package deal. Backstory. I personally feel passionate about this. One, because I am a person who married someone that had a child previously before even meeting me, before knowing me or anything. Similar situation. Okay, now I did not adopt her because she has a mother and her father was present, which is my husband currently. But I was always in her life. So we all had communication with each other in regards to the upbringing of my stepdaughter. So I think I feel some type of way about this because I've always looked at her as my daughter, even before we became married. Because I met her when she was 6 years old. We did not get married until she was 18 years old. Okay? So in between all of that time, if you do the math, like, or, you know, like, well, yeah, 10, 12 years. Yeah. So she was like 17, 18. Yeah. Yeah, she was about to turn 18. So anyway, she was 17 at the time. But my point is I had been knowing this girl for so long. So even prior to us getting married, I always looked at her as a daughter. Now, hypothetically speaking, if she would have been underage and like a younger child, and hypothetical speaking, like how Eva daughter was when her and Mike Sterling got together and decided to get married, I can definitely see me adopting my stepdaughter and saying that this is my baby too, if that had to be a situation, right? I can see that happening. So I personally look at this from a different set of eyes because I have been the other parent, okay, in a situation. So I feel like when you come into this and you say you love this child, that's your child. So at that particular point when Mike Sterling decides to adopt this child, that is his child. That is his responsibility. Okay, I give pauses because I want people to think, okay? He decided to adopt this baby. He said this is his child. Regardless if Eva and Mike Sterling is together, he decided this is my baby. This is my child. Okay? Because on any other situation, if anybody adopts a child, they take on the responsibility of that child. It's no longer the state's responsibility. It's no longer the prior parents' responsibility. They've lost all their rights. Okay, so it's now this person's child, including Eva Marcille. But I'm saying more talking about Mike Sterling. Okay, so it's his child. So now to fast forward to the second part of the question today on Morning Chat: is Eva Marcille wrong? No. So no, he's not a punk, and no, she's not wrong. Because he decided to adopt this baby. He decided. Now, we don't know the conversations that happened between him and Eva Marcille before he decided to adopt her. Okay? We don't know those backstories. We don't know if she asked him, but from my recollection, he wanted to. Okay, he decided. She did not ask him because at the end of the day, she was taking care of her child very well before Mike Sterling even came on the scene. However, he had been around her daughter for so long before they even got married, to the point that he like, I have an attachment to her. I have a relationship and a bond with her, and she looks at him like a father. Okay, so I felt like it was a no-brainer because the father, biological father, wasn't even in the picture or present, okay? So why wouldn't she allow Mike Sterling to adopt her daughter, okay? And no, she's not wrong for now that they are not applicable, no longer that they are together. That does not change the fact that he takes away the responsibilities of being the father of the child that she had with someone else, but he adopted her. Divorces does not take away adoption. He could have adopted her without them being married. Drop mic. Call this man a simp, to call him anything other than a great man because he decided to father and take care of someone else's child, that doesn't make you a punk. My father, I guess if this is what considered punks are or simps are nowadays, there's a lot of them walking around there. But I call these great kings. And people don't really understand that. That is a great king. That is a great man, be black, white, blue, green, whatever. I'm not saying a king because he's black. I'm saying he's a king because he's a man and he's leading, okay? And it takes a great leader, in my opinion, to decide I'm going to take care of someone else's child that I didn't have anything to do with. I didn't agree to this kid, but I love this kid and I'm going to take care of this kid. My father, may he rest in peace, he took care of my sister from the age of 3 until, okay, when she met him, she never met her father. She didn't know her father, okay? Now, I'm not trying to give too much of someone else's story because that is my sister's story, but it's my father's story, so I feel like I should be able to share certain parts of it without it being negatively looked upon. My sister never met her father. My sister did not meet her father until she was a teenager, till she was grown. However, before all those years, my father was her father. My father took care of her when she was sick. My father clothed her, fed her, took care of her. No, he did not never legally adopt her. But if anybody asked, before I was even born, because me and my sister are 4 years apart, he took care of her before I was even here on the scene, before I was even thought of. So at the end of the day, for a man to take on a child that's not biologically his, he literally doesn't have any responsibilities to. It takes a lot. And I applaud men that do that. I even applaud women that do that. Because when you open up your heart to someone else that you don't have any blood ties to me, that's deeper than the blood ties. Because sometimes we feel obligated because we're biologically related to someone. But when you decide to love and take care of someone that don't have any biological ties to you, that is a genuine heart. That is a genuine person. And I feel like, if anything, we should applaud Mike Sterling that he still looks at this baby as his child and his daughter, and that he's going to take care of this baby just like he's going to take care of his other 2 children that he have with her. So at the end of the day, I just really wanted to kind of give my personal opinion at Asbury World about the Eva Marcille and the Mike Sterling situation. In some instances, at first, I thought Eva Marcille was wrong. And I thought, well, hey, girl, you got so much money. Why are you asking for child support? However, at the end of the day, he's a dad. And if he took care of certain things in the household when they were a unit and together, and she still expects for him to do those things for that child, regardless if they're together or not, I really truly cannot blame her, because like I mentioned in the backstory, he was around this baby before they even got married. They had a connection and a relationship, and he loved this baby. So let's try to change the narrative nowadays that a person isn't a simp, a man isn't a simp or a punk or anything because he's decided to take on an obligation that he wasn't intended to take on. But because he chose to do so, that doesn't make him a simp. That doesn't make him a punk. That doesn't make even Marcille a gold digger or anything of the sort, or a user or a manipulator. Do y'all think that 4 years ago that she thought that she was going to get a divorce right now? I truly don't think so. I do not believe so. I don't believe it in my heart that when she got married that she intended that in 4 years, oh, I'm just going to use him and I'm going to get his money to take care of my kid that he didn't have anything to do with to create. No, this woman makes a very good living on her own. She didn't marry Mike Sterling for money. She married him for love. And if they're no longer there, or whatever the situation is, because like I said, I don't have that information. I'll do some more research to see if there's any tidbits on why they're getting a divorce. However, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That's beyond the point of them being together. The point was he decided to take on the kid. He decided to love the kid. He decided to nurture the kid. He decided to provide for the kid. So regardless of them getting a divorce, it's his child. If I'm not mistaken, when they did the adoption, they changed the baby's last name as well. So that's his child. Why wouldn't he take care of it? So that's why I end this morning chat. And I'm so glad that I was able to stop by. So please like and subscribe to Asbury World. And I really appreciate everyone who clicked this video. And drop a comment on what you think. Do you think that Mike Sterling is a simp or a punk? Do you think even Marcille is wrong? Do you think that both of them are right? Just drop your comments and give your opinion on this. Or maybe give a situation of where you can actually personally relate to what's going on with them. You know? Because at the end of the day, we have to think better as a society and stop judging people by being right, by being kind to each other, that makes you a simp or less than. And it's all these men out here that's really saying it. It's not. It's very rare that a woman would call this a man a simp in this situation. But we have to do better, people, and stop looking at each other that because we decide to take on something that it makes you a simp. That you decide to love and care and be outside of what society thinks a man should be, because every man should be horrible. Every man should be not shit, I guess. So I guess I got a simp at home because my husband, I'll say this, he took care of 2 kids. My stepdaughter or stepdaughter-in-law, she has 2 siblings that were born after her. And at the time, my husband was still in the mother's life. And guess what? He helped father, provide, take care, nurture those children, even though they weren't his. And when I met him, I knew he had 1 child biologically, but I knew when he came, 3 came with him. And so it was a package deal. So sometimes you just have to chuck up maybe your personal feelings and open your heart and really see the situation that you have somebody that's sacrificing themselves for somebody else for the better good. And I'll leave you with that. Be blessed. Bye. Say bye.